My beloved child, stop right where you are. Do not let your finger scroll past this moment, because the very thing you were worrying about just before you found this message is the exact reason I have drawn you here today. I see the heavy sigh you just released. I see the calculations running endlessly in your weary mind, the quiet panic that grips your chest when you think about your future, your finances, and how you are going to manage the days ahead. You have been carrying a weight that was never meant for your shoulders. You look at the years passing by and a silent fear whispers in the dark that time is running out, that your season of abundant harvest has already passed you by, and that you are left to merely survive on the remnants of what used to be. But my child, I am stepping into your timeline today with a word that will disrupt every anxiety trying to build a permanent home in your mind. Listen to me closely. The tears you cried in secret over your provisions, the prayers you whispered when you didn't want anyone else in the house to hear your fear, they did not vanish into the empty air. I have captured every single one of them. You have worked so hard throughout your entire life. You have sacrificed, you have given, when you barely had enough for yourself, and you have continuously put the needs of your loved ones above your own comfort. And lately, you have been looking at your aging hands, feeling as though they are empty, wondering if your faithful endurance was somehow overlooked by heaven. I am here to tell you that nothing, absolutely nothing, escapes my sight. The world may tell you that your golden years are a time of shrinking back, of limitation, and of settling for less. But my kingdom does not operate by the fragile economies of this earth. Right now, in the unseen realm, an unexpected door of blessing is being unlocked for you. It is a door you did not knock on, a door you did not strive for, and a door you didn't even know existed. I am removing the spirit of scarcity that has been hovering over your home. I want you to take a deep breath right now. Drop your shoulders and release that tension in your neck. The God who feeds the ravens and clothes the lilies is turning his righteous gaze toward your most pressing need. Do not rush away, for I am about to reveal how this blessing will enter your life. I know there are nights when you lie awake, staring at the ceiling, while the rest of the house is entirely silent. Your mind races through bills, retirement plans, and the rising cost of simply living. You feel a familiar tightness in your chest, a quiet anxiety that you try to pray away, yet it lingers like a heavy fog. You look at your life's work and sometimes wonder, did I make a mistake? Did I miss my chance? You worry about becoming a burden to your children, or losing the independence you have always valued so highly. You fear that after a lifetime of giving, you might end up with nothing left for yourself, standing at the edge of your later years with empty pockets and a tired soul. My precious child, hear my voice speaking directly into that deep, hidden fear. You will never be a burden. The work of your hands was not in vain, and your sacrifices were planted like seeds in a soil that I have personally watered. I see the aching in your joints and the weariness in your bones. I know how many times you chose to go without, just so someone else could have enough. You thought nobody noticed those quiet acts of love, those times you secretly checked your bank account and sighed, but still chose to be generous anyway. I noticed, I saw every single moment. Right now, I am commanding a divine shift in the spiritual atmosphere surrounding your life. The unexpected door of blessing that is opening for you is not merely about surviving the next month. It is about a profound, overflowing restoration. I am going to restore the years that the locusts have eaten, the opportunities you thought you missed because of age or circumstance. I am bringing them back in a completely new form. The resources that were unjustly taken from you, the investments of time and love that seem to yield no return. They are being multiplied and returned directly to your hands. Stop striving in your own fragile strength. You have spent decades trying to figure everything out on your own, carrying the financial and emotional weight of your entire family. It is time to let me be your provider in a way you have never experienced before. Release the shame of any past financial mistakes. Release the bitter regret over paths not taken. The door opening before you right now requires only your trust, not your endless striving. As you listen to these words, let a warm wave of supernatural peace wash over your anxious mind, soothing the very physical tension you have been holding in your chest. For so many years you have lived in what the world calls survival mode. You have trained yourself to constantly look over your shoulder, anticipating the next bill, the next medical report, the next unexpected emergency. Your mind has become a fortress of backup plans and worst-case scenarios, built brick by brick from the disappointments of your past. You learned to hold on tightly to whatever little you had, because experience taught you that if you didn't protect it, no one else would. You became the caretaker, the problem solver, the one everyone else leaned on when their own strength gave out. But my beloved child, while you were busy holding everyone else together, who was holding you? I am holding you. I have always been holding you, even in those moments when you felt entirely invisible. But right now, I need you to do something that feels absolutely terrifying to your weary heart. I need you to open your hands. You cannot receive the unexpected blessing I am pouring out if your fists are still clenched tightly around your fears, your limited resources, and your need to control the outcome. The door that is opening for you right now is too wide, too magnificent for you to walk through while dragging the heavy luggage of your past anxieties. I am calling you to step out of survival mode and into a season of divine surplus. I know it feels unsafe to let your guard down. I know you have trusted before, only to be let down by people who promised they would be there. You have been disappointed so many times that hoping for a miracle feels more dangerous than just accepting defeat. But I am not like the people who broke their promises to you. I am the God who parts seas, who brings water from dry rocks, and who multiplies the little you have into more than enough. The blessing that is arriving is not just a temporary fix to get you through the week. It is a permanent shift in your foundation. It will not only cover your physical needs, but it will bring a profound sense of dignity, freedom, and security back into your life. You will not have to beg, you will not have to borrow, and you will not have to spend your remaining years calculating every penny with a knot of panic in your stomach. Breathe out the exhaustion of trying to fix everything yourself. Let go of the desperate need to figure out the how and the when. Your only responsibility in this moment is to rest in the who. I am your Father, the Lord of the harvest, and your harvest is no longer delayed. The shift is happening right now, in the very room where you are listening to this. Feel the heavy, suffocating armor of survival falling off your shoulders, replaced by the light, joyful garment of my grace. You are safe now. You are profoundly provided for. I want to speak to the physical toll that worry has taken on your body. You may not realize it, but the constant quiet hum of financial anxiety has been silently wearing you down for years. It is the reason your neck and shoulders are so stiff. It is the reason you often wake up with a dull ache in your head and a persistent knot in your stomach. You have spent so much time calculating how to stretch what little you have, trying to make the earthly math work, that your very cells have absorbed the deep stress of lack. But my beloved child, human mathematics cannot dictate the miracles of heaven. When I decide to open a door of blessing, it does not require a perfect credit score. It does not depend on the state of the economy, and it certainly does not look at your age as a limitation. Do you remember the story of the widow who had nothing left but a handful of flour and a little oil in a jar? She was exhausted. She was preparing for the end. She looked at her empty containers and made a logical, realistic calculation based only on what her physical eyes could see. She thought her story of provision was completely over, but when she surrendered her last bit of control and trusted the words spoken to her, I did not just give her one meal. I gave her a miraculous, continuous overflow that completely outlasted the severe famine around her. You see, the famine you might feel right now, the rising prices, the strict fixed income, the sudden unexpected expenses that seem to come out of nowhere, does not limit my ability to provide for you. I am sending a divine interruption into your financial famine. The unexpected blessing that is arriving is designed specifically to break the cycle of worry that has held you captive. I do not just want to help you pay your bills this month. I want to completely heal your relationship with trust. I want you to wake up in the morning, look out your window, and actually hear the birds singing, without your very first thought being a panicked calculation of what you cannot afford. I want to replace that heavy, physical spirit of anxiety with the oil of joy, so deeply that it actually transforms your physical health. When the crushing weight of survival finally leaves your body, you will feel a new surge of energy, a new lightness in your daily steps, and a profound, lasting peace that surpasses all human understanding. I see the silent shame you have carried, the quiet embarrassment that shadows your heart when you think about your family. You have always wanted to do more for your children and your grandchildren. You wanted to be the one they could come to in their times of need, the safe harbor who could generously provide without a second thought. Instead, you have often found yourself having to carefully count every single dollar, apologizing quietly in your own heart that you could not give them the world. You have watched others around you seem to effortlessly enjoy their later years, traveling, retiring comfortably, and sharing abundant gifts, while you have had to say no more times than you can bear to count. The world has a cruel way of equating a person's worth with the size of their bank account, and the enemy has heavily used that lie to make you feel as though you have somehow failed. But hear me now, my precious child. You have never been a failure in my eyes. Your worth is not calculated by earthly wealth. The spiritual inheritance you have already given to your family through your tearful prayers, your quiet endurance, and your unconditional love is far more valuable than silver or gold. However, my heart is deeply moved by your genuine desire to bless others. The unexpected door of blessing that I am opening for you right now is not just about bringing you temporary financial relief. It is about completely restoring your dignity. I am going to turn you into a river of blessing. The overflow that is coming into your life will be so abundant that you will once again experience the pure, unhindered joy of giving. You will be able to bless your family, support the causes you care about, and help those in need, all without that familiar, terrifying fear of running out. I am breaking the generational cycle of lack, struggle, and financial limitation that has hovered over your bloodline for decades. You are about to step into a season where you will clearly see that I am making you the head and not the tail. I want you to physically release the clenching in your jaw right now. Let go of the deep-seated guilt that whispers you did not work hard enough, save enough, or make the right choices in your youth. You did the absolute best you could with the heavy trials you were given. Now, it is my turn to step in and finish the work. The limitless economy of heaven is superseding the fragile economy of your current reality. Just breathe, release the shame, and prepare your heart for the joy of an overflowing cup. I know that when you look at the calendar, or when you look in the mirror, the enemy loves to whisper a very specific, very cruel lie into your ear. He tells you that it is simply too late for you. He points to your age and tells you that the time for building, the time for miracles, and the time for unexpected blessings has already passed. He wants you to believe that the sand in your hourglass has run too low, and that you must now just quietly accept a life of limitation, fixed incomes, and financial constraint. You have watched others around you step into their seasons of abundance, and while you have graciously clapped for them, deep in your heart you have silently asked, "Lord, have you forgotten about me? When is it my turn?" My beloved child, hear my voice right now and let it shatter that lie completely. I am the creator of time. I am not bound by earthly clocks, retirement ages, or the world's fragile timeline of success. I do not look at your age as an expiration date. I look at it as a beautifully prepared vessel, seasoned by decades of wisdom, tears, and faithful endurance, completely ready to hold the magnitude of what I am about to pour out. Your season in the background is officially over. The unexpected door of blessing I am opening for you does not require years of exhausting striving to walk through. It is a door of sudden, accelerated favor. I am going to accomplish in a matter of moments what would normally take a lifetime of human effort to build. The enemy desperately wants your final chapters to be written in the ink of regret, survival, and quiet resignation. He wants you to just manage your pain and calculate your pennies until the very end. But I have written a completely different ending to your story. An ending characterized by profound overflow, joyful provision, and a peace so deep that it literally transforms the atmosphere of your home. I am bringing a fresh, vibrant expectation back into your spirit. I want you to wake up tomorrow morning, not with a heavy, tired sigh of endurance, but with the genuine, childlike excitement of knowing that your Heavenly Father is bringing a massive blessing directly to your doorstep. Release the timeline to me. Release the heavy feeling of being too late. In my kingdom, you are exactly on time for the greatest financial and spiritual miracle of your entire life. I know there were long seasons when it felt as though heaven was completely silent. You prayed, you waited, you watched as others received their breakthroughs, and you quietly wondered what you did wrong. You searched your own heart, repenting for things you did not even need to repent for, simply because the enemy convinced you that your financial struggle was a punishment from me. Hear my voice clearly today. Your waiting was never a punishment. It was a profound, sacred preparation. I was not ignoring your midnight cries. I was working deeply in the unseen, rocky soil of your life, fortifying your character. I was making sure that when this massive door of blessing finally opens, the abundance will not overwhelm you, but will elevate you and those around you. The world looks at delayed success and calls it a failure, but heaven looks at your endurance and calls it the ultimate setup for a spectacular miracle. I see the way you have carefully guarded your heart, fighting with everything in you not to become bitter, even when life felt incredibly unfair. You have watched people who do not walk with integrity seem to prosper effortlessly, while you, who have tried to do everything right, who have loved fiercely and given generously, have had to scrape by just to survive. The enemy has used this to whisper a very specific poison into your mind. He told you that righteousness does not pay off, that being a good, faithful person only leaves you empty-handed and exhausted in the end. Do not believe that lie for another second. The fragile prosperity of the world is like a blade of grass that withers in the afternoon sun. But the blessing I am bringing to you is like a deeply rooted oak tree. It is generational, it is unshakable, and it is fiercely protected by my own hand. Right now, I am breaking off the spirit of disappointment that has draped over your shoulders like a heavy, soaking wet coat. You have worn this heavy garment of grief for so long that you actually forgot what it feels like to walk without it. Take it off today. Let it fall to the ground. Your long season of hiddenness and quiet struggle has officially come to an absolute end. The unexpected door that is opening for you will not just bring you the financial relief you have been praying for. It will bring a public vindication of your unwavering faith. The people who watched you struggle, the ones who perhaps even counted you out, will look at your life and have no choice but to acknowledge that the Lord your God has profoundly visited you. I am replacing your quiet, painful endurance with a loud, undeniable, and overflowing testimony of my goodness. As you prepare to step through this unexpected door of blessing, there is a profound internal shift I am initiating within your soul right now. Before your eyes see the physical evidence of this miracle, before the unexpected provision arrives, before the heavy debt is cleared, before the phone call that changes your trajectory, I am depositing something far more valuable into your spirit. I am giving you my perfect peace. The world offers a kind of wealth that is constantly shadowed by the anxiety of losing it. People chase relentlessly after financial security, and when they finally attain it, they build high walls of worry, terrified that it will slip through their aging fingers. But the blessing I am bringing to your house is entirely different. My blessing makes rich, and I add absolutely no sorrow, no sleepless nights, and no frantic striving to it. I want you to be so completely anchored in my love that when this financial overflow reaches your hands, it does not overwhelm you. You will not become a servant to the blessing. The blessing will serve the holy purpose I have placed upon your life. I have watched so many souls pray desperately for a breakthrough, only to let that very breakthrough become a new prison of anxiety that pulls them away from my presence. But not you, my beloved child. The silent years of waiting, the trials that deeply tested your faith, and the tears you shed in the secret place have purified your heart. You have learned the hardest lesson of all, that I am your true reward. Because your heart is safely tethered to me, I can completely trust you with this unprecedented open door. From this moment forward, I want you to stop nervously checking the horizon for the arrival of this miracle as if it might get lost along the way. Stop letting your tired mind constantly calculate exactly how and when I will do it. Managing the universe is my job, not yours. Your only responsibility is to live in a state of joyful, unwavering expectation. When you wake up tomorrow morning, I want you to thank me for the provision that is already in motion. When you sit down for your meals, thank me that your long days of rationing and fear are finally coming to an end. This gentle posture of gratitude is the very key that unlocks the final latch on your unexpected door. Let my peace stand as a guard over your heart and mind right now. The provider has spoken, and your provision is completely secure. My beloved child, as this new reality begins to unfold around you, I must give you one very specific instruction. Do not look back at the wilderness you are leaving behind. When the children of Israel were finally brought out of their long captivity, their greatest struggle was not the physical journey, but the mental battle of leaving their chains behind. Even when they were free, their minds kept returning to the familiar struggles and the predictable lack of their past. I do not want you to make that same mistake. As this unexpected door of blessing swings wide open, the enemy will try to make you doubt it. He will whisper that it is simply too good to be true, that it is only temporary, or that a hidden disaster is waiting just around the corner to snatch it all away. I command you to silence that voice immediately. Do not sabotage your own miracle by rehearsing old fears. The heavy shoes of your past survival will not fit the vast, abundant territory of your future. You are crossing a spiritual river today, and the waters of lack are being cut off permanently. I am realigning your circumstances, moving the right people, and shifting resources on your behalf in ways you cannot physically see yet, but that you will very soon hold in your own hands. The architecture of your life is being rebuilt upon a foundation of absolute security. There will be moments in the coming days when you might feel a sudden urge to panic out of pure habit, a muscle memory of worry from all those decades of barely scraping by. You will look at a bill or an unexpected situation, and your body will try to react with that old, familiar tightness in your chest. When that happens, I want you to literally say out loud, "My Father is taking care of me, and my season of lack is completely over." Speak it into the very atmosphere of your living room. Your own ears need to hear your voice declaring my faithfulness. I am completely removing the invisible ceiling that has hovered over your finances and your family for so long. You are stepping into an era of clear skies and open heavens. You will no longer have to carefully ration your joy, your peace, or your resources. You are transitioning from a state of always desperately needing a miracle to living as a walking, breathing manifestation of my continuous goodness. Lift your head high. Shake off the heavy dust of the waiting room. The threshold is directly beneath your feet, and the warm, radiant light of my glorious provision is shining brightly upon your face. Step forward confidently, my child. You belong here, my beloved child. As we come to the close of this sacred moment together, I want to seal this promise permanently over your life. The unexpected door of blessing is no longer just a distant hope or a fragile wish. It is your new, unshakable reality. You have walked through the long, barren valley. You have endured the silent years, the sleepless nights, and the crushing weight of surviving on your own. But that exhausting chapter is now entirely closed. I am taking the pen from your trembling hands, and I am writing a final chapter of spectacular abundance, profound dignity, and deep, restful peace. I want you to physically open your hands right now, wherever you are sitting or standing. Take one final deep breath and let every last ounce of stress, regret, and financial panic leave your body. Feel the warmth of my presence surrounding you, wrapping you in a blanket of divine security. The days of rationing your joy and calculating your survival are over. From this day forward, when you look at your future, you will see my overflowing provision. When you look at your family, you will see my protective hand. And when you look in the mirror, you will no longer see a tired, forgotten soul, but a radiant, fully restored child of the Most High God, perfectly positioned for a season of unprecedented favor. You are about to experience the kind of financial and spiritual overflow that makes you weep tears of pure joy. Not tears of exhaustion, but tears of overwhelming gratitude. I am going to bless you so abundantly that you will become a beacon of hope to everyone around you. They will look at your life and know, without a shadow of a doubt, that heaven has profoundly visited you. Do not let the enemy steal this moment from you. Do not let human logic talk you out of your miracle. Hold fast to the profound peace I have deposited into your spirit today. The heavy lifting is done. The door is open. If you receive this word, if you are truly ready to lay down the heavy burden of survival and step through this unexpected door of blessing, I want you to make a prophetic declaration right now. Do not walk away in silence. claim this supernatural shift in your atmosphere. Type, "I receive my unexpected blessing," in the comments below to seal this covenant today. Share this message with someone who needs to know that their waiting is over too. Subscribe to stay connected to my voice, for I have so much more to tell you in the beautiful days to come. I love you with an everlasting love. Welcome to your new season. My beloved child, although I have already sealed the promise over your life, my spirit urges me to linger with you just a little longer. Consider this a divine bonus, an extended moment of grace just for you. Sometimes, even when the door is standing wide open, human hesitation tries to pull you back. Your mind agrees with the blessing, but your weary body still remembers the trauma of the wilderness. So right now, I want to lead you into a prayer of ultimate activation. I want you to speak these words into the atmosphere of your home, allowing your own ears to hear the sound of your faith, breaking the final chains of doubt. Say this with me. Heavenly Father, I surrender my exhaustion to you today. I choose to release the heavy burden of my past, my financial mistakes, and my fear of tomorrow. I declare that my season of surviving is over, and my season of thriving has officially begun. I step through the unexpected door of blessing, and I receive your peace that surpasses all understanding. As those words leave your lips, the angels assigned to your life are already moving on your behalf. The spiritual resistance that was pushing against your finances, your health, and your family's peace has just been entirely broken. I want you to carry this specific feeling of lightness with you as you close this message and step back into your daily routine. When you go to the grocery store, do not look at the prices with a spirit of panic. Look at them, knowing the provider walks down the aisle with you. When you check your mailbox or look at your bank account, do not brace yourself for bad news. Expect the sudden shift I have promised. You are no longer an orphan fending for yourself in a cold world. You are a deeply loved, highly favored heir to a kingdom that knows absolutely no lack. If you are still listening to my voice right now, know that this is the ultimate confirmation. You were meant to stay until this very last second. The anointing on this message is actively working in your living room, your bedroom, or your car. Wherever you are sitting right now, go in peace, my precious child. Rest deeply tonight. The battle you thought you had to fight tomorrow has already been won by my hand today. I am with you always, even to the end of the age. My beloved child, as the day comes to a close and the shadows of the night stretch across your room, I know this is often the time when your mind races the most. The quietness of the house can sometimes make your worries sound louder. But I am stepping into your midnight hour right now. I want you to close your eyes and listen to the gentle rhythm of my grace. You have survived 100% of your hardest days, not because you were invincible, but because my hand has always been underneath you, catching you before you could completely fall. As you lay down to rest tonight, I command the racing thoughts to completely cease. I command the spirit of insomnia, born out of financial panic and family worry, to pack up and leave your bedroom immediately. You do not need to figure out tomorrow before it even arrives. The manna I provide is fresh for each new morning. When you try to carry tomorrow's burdens with today's limited strength, you exhaust the beautiful, fragile vessel I created you to be. So tonight, I give you divine permission to completely clock out of survival mode. Let your tired muscles relax into your bed. Unclench your jaw. Release the deep tension in your forehead. Let the heavy armor you have worn all day fall to the floor. You do not need it in my presence. You are fully protected by a garrison of my strongest angels, standing a fierce watch over your home, your children, and your future. Do not let the enemy replay the highlight reel of your past mistakes as you try to rest. If a thought of regret tries to surface in the dark, wash it away instantly with the knowledge of my absolute forgiveness. You are not defined by the chapters where you stumbled. You are defined by the grace that picked you back up. The world may measure your worth by what you accomplished today or what is in your bank account, but I measure your worth by the simple, beautiful fact that you are mine. As your physical body rests, my spirit is doing deep, restorative work at a cellular level. I am healing the physical inflammation caused by decades of stress. I am repairing the nervous system that has been on high alert for far too long. Breathe in my peace and breathe out your exhaustion. The unexpected blessing we spoke of today is already navigating its way to your front door. It does not need your anxious supervision to arrive on time. It only needs your restful surrender. Let your soul be anchored in this one undeniable truth. You are incredibly loved, profoundly seen, and abundantly provided for. Drift into a deep, uninterrupted sleep now, my precious child, with the sweet and certain knowledge that your Heavenly Father is staying awake on your behalf. Tomorrow, you will wake up to a brand new day of unprecedented favor. Good night, my beloved. I will be right here smiling over you when you open your eyes. My beloved child, as the morning sun breaks through the darkness and a new day begins, I want my voice to be the very first thing your spirit hears, before your feet even touch the floor, before the worries of the world try to rush back into your mind to demand your attention. I am here to remind you that my mercies are brand new this morning. Yesterday's struggles have been completely washed away, and the heavy burdens you laid down at my feet last night do not belong to you today. I have stationed my angels at the four corners of your home, and the atmosphere you are waking up to is filled with my divine favor. Breathe in the crisp, fresh air of this new beginning. You are not waking up merely to survive another day. You are waking up to step into the continuous, flowing stream of my unexpected blessings. As you go about your morning routine, I want you to notice a profound new lightness in your steps. The familiar aches, the chronic fatigue, and the heavy dread that used to greet you each morning are being replaced by a supernatural vitality. I am renewing your youth like the eagles. I am putting a new song in your mouth, a quiet, joyful hum of gratitude that will carry you through every hour of this day. But I am not only blessing you today, I am extending this morning's grace directly to those you love the most. I know your heart constantly aches for your children and your grandchildren. You worry about their paths, their safety, their finances, and their salvation. You have spent countless mornings crying out for their protection, often feeling completely helpless to fix their problems. Hear me clearly right now. I have collected every single prayer you have ever whispered for your family. The generational cycles of lack, anxiety, division, and broken relationships are being severed by my hand this very morning. The overflow of blessing that I am pouring into your life is going to run down to your children and your children's children, even the ones who seem far away, the ones who have stopped calling, or the ones who are currently walking through their own dark valleys. I am drawing them back. I am orchestrating divine encounters, softening hardened hearts, and making crooked paths straight for them in ways you cannot yet see. Your role is no longer to worry about them. Your role is to trust me with them. Release them completely into my capable hands. As you pour your morning coffee and look out the window, let a profound, genuine smile cross your face. You are the spiritual anchor of your bloodline, and your faithful, quiet endurance has secured a legacy of my goodness for your entire family. Walk into this day with absolute confidence, my precious child. I go before you to make the rough places smooth. I walk beside you to hold your hand and I stand behind you as your ultimate protector. This is the day that I have made. Step into it, rejoice, and be exceptionally glad. My beloved child, as we continue this journey together, I must gently touch a place in your heart that you have kept heavily guarded for a very long time. It is the hidden room where you keep the memories of those who hurt you, the ones who misunderstood your pure intentions, and the ones who walked away when you needed them the most. You have carried the sharp, heavy stones of betrayal and disappointment in your pockets for decades. You thought that by holding on to this pain, you were somehow protecting yourself from ever being hurt again. You quietly believed that if you truly let your guard down, or if you completely forgave them, it would mean that what they did to you was acceptable. Hear my voice right now, speaking with ultimate tenderness and absolute authority. Forgiveness does not mean their actions were right. It means your soul is far too precious to remain locked in a dark prison of bitterness. The unexpected door of blessing I am opening for you cannot be fully enjoyed if your hands are still clenched in resentment. I see the quiet tears you cry when a certain name is mentioned, or when a specific memory unexpectedly flashes through your mind. I know the deep, throbbing ache of estranged relationships, the painful silence of family members who have distanced themselves, and the profound longing for reconciliation that you desperately try to hide behind a brave, polite smile. Today, I am handing you the key to your own emotional release. I want you to mentally take every single person who has ever wronged you, every unfair judgment spoken against your character, and every unresolved conflict that keeps you up at night, and place them entirely into my righteous hands. You do not have to play the role of the judge anymore. You do not have to carry the exhausting, heavy burden of defending your own vindication. As you release them to me right now, I am pouring a supernatural healing balm over your deepest emotional wounds. I am doing a quiet restorative work in your family line, softening hardened hearts and preparing the ground for reconciliation where it is according to my will. But even more importantly than that, I am bringing you a profound, untouchable peace regarding the people who may never apologize. You will no longer be defined by who left you, who rejected you, or who hurt you in your past. You are defined strictly by the Father who stayed, the God who is actively healing you, and the King who is restoring your joy. Breathe out the heavy, toxic ash of your past right now, my child. Let it go completely and step into the beautiful, unburdened freedom of your new season, my beloved child. I want to speak to a quiet shadow that sometimes visits you in the middle of the afternoon, or when you are sitting alone with your thoughts. It is the whisper that tells you your most useful days are behind you. Society has a way of making you feel invisible as you grow older. The world relentlessly celebrates youth, endless physical energy, and constant production. Because you may no longer work the long hours you used to, or because your children are grown and your house is much quieter now, the enemy has tried to convince you that your purpose has completely expired. You sometimes look around your empty rooms and silently wonder, what am I supposed to do now? Does my life still have a meaningful impact? Hear my voice right now, cutting through that cruel illusion of obsolescence. In my kingdom, there is absolutely no such thing as retirement from your spiritual calling. You have not been placed on the sidelines. You have been promoted to a position of profound spiritual authority. The decades you have lived, the intense pain you have survived, and the deep wisdom you have gathered are not meant to simply fade away into the background. They have been refined in the fire into pure, unbreakable gold. I am calling you into a brand new season of purpose, one that does not require the physical exhaustion and frantic striving of your youth, but rather the deep, anchored, unshakable strength of your spirit. You are a pillar in my house. Your prayers now carry the massive weight of a lifetime of tested faith. When you sit in your favorite chair and pray for your family, your community, and the generations coming after you, you are literally shifting the spiritual atmosphere in ways that human eyes cannot even comprehend. You do not need a public stage, a fancy title, or a crowded room to be immensely powerful. Your quiet faithfulness, the gentle way you carry my peace into a room, and the hard-earned wisdom you share with those who are willing to listen. This is your greatest, most impactful ministry. I am actively removing the heavy, isolating cloak of feeling useless, and I am replacing it with the radiant mantle of a spiritual warrior, a beloved guide, and a guardian of your family's legacy. Do not let the enemy convince you for one more second that you are just marking time until you come home to me. I have specific divine assignments designed just for you in this very chapter of your life. I will bring people across your path who desperately need the exact comfort and wisdom you have received from me. You will speak life into broken situations simply by your calm, steady presence. So lift up your head today. Your story is far from over. The chapters of your youth were about building, surviving, and striving. But this chapter, this beautiful golden chapter, is about legacy, profound spiritual impact, and radiating my unconditional love. Step into this new calling with absolute joy and confidence, knowing that your highest purpose is unfolding right now.